So I'm a rabbi now. It's official. Who knew all it would take for me to find my faith again was watching this reality show? This show is diarrhea. My Unorthodox Life, a Netflix original series reality show based around an ex-ultra-Orthodox family that's now trying to find their way in the world. So pretty much my life. You can understand that when I heard about this show, I was really intrigued because I had grown up as an ultra-Orthodox religious Jew. I had never seen a show that was represented in quite this way. And I was curious to know if what they experienced, I could relate to in some way to my own experience.
That was a heavy one.
Relatability is not really this show's strong suit. A lot of religious people that I know were really insulted by the way that this show portrays religious people. Excuse me? If anybody should be insulted, it should be people like me. Because the way they portray me, people who left religion, they just portray us as a bunch of unself-aware narcissists. And that can't be further from the truth. If anything, I am very self-aware about how loathsome I am. Alright, let's get into these characters. We have our first couple, Bathsheba and Ben. They're still a religious married couple, but are increasingly become more modern. And it is very apparent in watching the show that this is absolutely all because the wife wants that. The entire show, it's pretty apparent that he is just uncomfortable with everything that's going on. Clearly, she wears the pants of the family, and I don't even mean that metaphorically. Literally, the title of the first episode is She Wears the Pants, and it's all about how she wants to start wearing pants right now, even though it's a bit immodest, and the husband's like kind of uncomfortable with it, but it doesn't matter, because she ends up getting her way. That's pretty much a theme throughout this entire show. All the men have been asked to leave their balls at the front door. Then you have Bathsheba's sister Miriam, she's bisexual, and then you have Robert, who I swear to God, they just cast him because he's gay and they wanted a gay best friend. And then you have Shlomo and a couple of the other kids, but the main person I really want to get to is the mom. Julia Hart. Her story is at the age of 40, after having a bunch of kids and a husband, decides to abandon her family because she doesn't want to be religious anymore, and she ends up starting this fashion company where now she's this fashion mogul. Where do I even begin with this character? You remember that friend in high school whose mom always let him just throw parties at his house, but you realize really quickly that was just an excuse for her to hang out with a bunch of high schoolers? Well, now she has a reality TV show. Look, I grew up religious, and the entire time I was religious, I wanted to just go out and party. And I understand the need to want to go out and experience a lot of the things that you've been held back from experiencing your entire life. But the difference between me and her is when I did it, I was 20 years old and just starting my life. But when she does it, she's a 50-year-old mom. I swear to God, this woman still acts like she's in high school. Like, she talks to her kids in the most inappropriate way. For example, Miriam's going on a date when she tells her mom, and her mom just goes straight to, so, you guys gonna fuck? Huh? You guys gonna do it?
Kiss her, have fun. No, seriously, there's a reason I bought you a vibrator. There's no way you can, like, have someone pleasure you if you don't know how to pleasure yourself.
Stop it. Get some help.
And I swear, she dresses so inappropriate for a 50-year-old woman. And it feels like she's constantly trying to make a statement with what she's wearing. And I think the statement is, hey guys, I still have tits. I mean, every scene, she's constantly wearing like a low-hanging dress. Even at times where it doesn't even make any sense. Like, they'll have a family gathering and it's like a really intimate thing with just the family. And then the mom comes out with this low-cut dress. I'm like, what? Who is this for? Why are you wearing this? I swear to God, the funniest thing is when she's in charge of this meeting. And I swear, this is how the editing is. They keep cutting from her chest to then every guy's reaction. It's the funniest thing. I don't know if they purposely understand what they're doing, but it's just ridiculous. And look, I want to make it clear, I'm not against tits. I love tits. They're great. But there's something that makes me a bit uncomfortable when it's constantly a 50-year-old mom shoving it in my face. But anyways, let's talk about what I really hate about this character. And that's the fact that she is an incredible narcissist. Beyond the fact that she ended up breaking up her own family because of her own selfish needs. And yeah, later down the line, she explains that she felt suicidal and that if she didn't leave, she was gonna kill herself. And obviously, I don't wanna make fun of that. I don't wanna downgrade her experience if she says she was feeling those things. I'm not gonna say that she wasn't. But if she portrayed herself throughout the show as a really kind and humble person, then I could excuse her behavior. No, she's an incredible narcissist. She makes it as if anybody who's religious is obviously ruining her life. Like in the first episode, Ben, the husband, is really uncomfortable with his wife, Bathsheba, who's wearing pants, and the mom just butts in and makes it like a feminist thing.
It's her body. She's an adult woman. She should decide. It's not your decision to make.
And it's like so frustrating because clearly that's not what this is about. You know, it's a religious thing. He's trying to get comfortable with how much things are changing, and in a marriage, it's important to discuss things. Such an immature way of thinking. It really bugs me. Another example, in another episode, she ends up writing this memoir about her life, and she asks her kids to read the memoir, and it becomes really cringy really fast because we get to see her daughter have to read this memoir in which it details, and I can't even show you the scene because it's so graphic, but in short, it explicitly details her sex life.
I'm sure your mom's 20-year-old naked body was snatched for the gods. Ooh, Lord.
hot.
No, it's not! And believe it or not, it gets even worse, because it's not enough that she has to write about her own sexual exploits, but she also details personal conversation that her daughter had with her about her own sexual exploitation. At this point, I'm pretty much ready to jump off a bridge. And then we have what I call the worst part of the show, like the worst thing that she ever does. In one episode, she goes to visit her 13-year-old son, who's still religious. And the entire show, she is actively trying to get her son to abandon the principles in which she taught him, because now she feels enlightened, and now she feels like, oh, because I became not religious, now my son has to also kind of become not religious. Specifically, there's this one scene where she sits down with him. She's trying to convince him that he's kind of brainwashed and he doesn't understand what he's doing.
You are going down into the rabbit hole of crazy fundamentalism.
Highly disagree with that.
And it makes me so angry because even after I left religion, there was no part of me that felt like it was my place to go to my other siblings and enforce that they become not religious because I'm not religious. And she does this throughout the entire show, and it makes me so angry. And what's even crazier is at the end of this conversation, like, she's not getting through to him because he's just not interested in what she has to say, and she ends up like crying.
Sorry, it's just very upsetting to me.
And there's even a scene later on in the show where the son is talking to his friend. He's like making fun of the fact that his mom was crying.
She's like, oh, you're not talking to girls?
This brought so much joy to my heart. This kid is the best character in the show. He honestly seems like the most genuine and, weirdly enough, the most mature and smartest. And his entire family is being weirdly brainwashed by the mom to just go along with whatever she wants. He just does not care, and it makes me so happy. It makes me so angry to see this mom try to force her kid to adopt the lifestyle that she wants because you brought this kid up to be religious. You can't then turn it around and then say, well, because I changed my life, you have to entirely change the values that I taught you because I say so. And honestly, there's so much more to say about this show. In short, what makes it so cringeworthy to watch? These characters are trying so hard to look cool and fit in, and they are failing miserably. I mean, there's no self-awareness whatsoever, and it really bugs me. I don't know why, but it bugs me because I became not religious and my experience was totally not like that. But I'm honestly really curious to know how other people view the show, people that didn't grow up religious. I would love to hear down below if you've watched the show. What was your experience? What do you think about the show? Now, if you'll excuse me, I have a Torah portion class that I have to teach to my congregation. And by the way, just a heads up, if you're wondering what I'm wearing, this is the Flush t-shirt from my short film Flush. If you like the short film and you want to go get some merch, I'll put the link down below to go get a t-shirt. Thank you guys so much, and enjoy the rest of your day, you guys, because you deserve it.